Welcome, students. Let's continue our chapter Chemical Reactions and Equations. So far, we have discussed what are chemical reactions. So now we know that chemical reaction is the process by which two or more substances react with each other and form new substance, new product with new properties. Now, um, the question arises here that how do we come to know that a chemical reaction has taken place? So basically, in a chemical reaction, substances known as reactants they get converted into products, right? So whenever there's a conversion of reactant into product in a chemical reaction, the reaction is often accompanied by some features which can be observed easily. That means there are some features which can be observed, and those easily observable features or those easily observable changes which take place as a result of chemical reaction, they are known as characteristics of chemical reactions, or you can say signs of chemical reactions. So the important characteristics of chemical reactions are evolution of a gas, change in color, change in temperature, change in state, and formation of precipitate. And any one of these general characteristics can tell us that whether the chemical reaction has taken place or not. For example, if on mixing two substances, gas is evolved, then we can say that a chemical reaction has taken place. So let's now give examples to show all the characteristics of chemical reactions one by one. Okay, so let's start with evolution of a gas. See, students, some chemical reactions are characterized by the evolution of gas. For instance, if we take some zinc granules in a flask or in something or in a test tube and then add dilute sulfuric acid over these zinc granules, then what happens? You will see that the bubbles are formed there. And the bubbles which are formed there are actually the bubbles of hydrogen gas that is being formed around zinc granules. And in fact, if we touch that flask or that test tube with our hand, we'll find that it is somewhat hot. So change in temperature, rise in temperature also occur in this chemical reaction. So what I mean to say is that the chemical reaction between zinc and dilute sulfuric acid, it's characterized by the evolution of hydrogen gas. So this reaction shows us that during the chemical reaction, gas can get evolved. Okay, so this is the reaction which is characterized by evolution of a gas. Now let's take another characteristic, say formation of a precipitate. But before we take an example of this, we should know the meaning of the term precipitate. What is precipitate? Precipitate is actually a solid product which is insoluble, which separates out from the solution during a chemical reaction. A precipitate, it can be formed by mixing aqueous solutions, watery solutions, and when one of the product is insoluble in water, precipitate can be formed. And precipitate can be also formed by passing a gas into an aqueous solution, like passing, say, carbon dioxide into lime water. So precipitate will be formed there. Now, many of the chemical reactions are characterized by the formation of a precipitate. Now, for instance, when potassium iodide solution is added to a solution of lead nitrate, then what happens? A yellow precipitate of lead iodide is formed. So whenever you take lead nitrate solution, say again in a test tube or beaker, and add potassium iodide, you'll observe that a kind of precipitate, yellow precipitate is formed at once, and that is actually the precipitate of lead iodide. So see, Change in color is also there. It was colorless, then yellow color will appear. That change in color is also taking place in the reaction, and precipitate is also forming there. So see, in this reaction between potassium iodide and lead nitrate, it is characterized by the formation of the precipitate. So whenever you will observe that during a reaction precipitate is formed, it means chemical reaction has occurred. Now, there are some chemical reactions that are characterized by change in color. Say, let's take an example of a chemical reaction where we can have a change in color. Say, when sulfur dioxide gas is passed through potassium dichromate solution, then what happens during this reaction? The At first the solution was orangish color, orange in color, but when the sulfur dioxide is passed through the potassium dichromate, this orange color of potassium dichromate solution changes to green color. So this reaction between sulfur dioxide gas and potassium dichromate solution, it is characterized by the change in color from orange to green. Okay. So whenever there is a change in color, it clearly signifies that a reaction, a chemical reaction has taken place. Now, before we go further, we should know why temperature changes take place in chemical reactions. See, students, chemical reactions often produce heat energy. And when a chemical reaction produces heat energy, then the temperature of reaction mixture rises, it increases, and it becomes hot. But in some cases, chemical reactions absorb heat energy. They don't release energy, they absorb heat energy. And whenever chemical reaction absorbs heat energy, then the temperature of mixture falls, decreases, and it becomes cold. So whenever we talk of change in temperature in a chemical reaction, it can be rise in temperature or fall in temperature. Okay. Now let's take an example let's take an example of chemical reaction which is characterized by the change in temperature. For instance, let's take quicklime. Quicklime or lime. These are the two common names of calcium oxide. Okay, so if we take calcium oxide in say beaker and then add water to it slowly, and then what you need to do is just touch the beaker carefully, and you will feel that the beaker is quite hot. Its temperature is high. Why? That means during a reaction, some heat is evolved, some energy is released, right? And because of that, temperature rises and the beaker gets hot. So this reaction between quicklime, calcium oxide, and water is characterized by the change in temperature. And gas students, during this reaction, a product is formed that is called slaked lime. Slaked lime is the common name for calcium hydroxide. Remember this, lime or quicklime. This is the common name for calcium oxide, and slaked lime is the common name for calcium hydroxide. Okay, and during this reaction, heat is produced. Okay, and those reactions where the heat is produced, heat is released, that reaction is known as exothermic reaction. Exothermic, that means heat producing reaction. Since in this reaction heat is released, heat is produced, so this is an exothermic reaction. Okay, now we'll give one more example of a chemical reaction in which heat is absorbed, due to which what happens, the temperature falls. Now let's take barium hydroxide, and whenever this barium hydroxide is added to ammonium chloride, say taken a test tube and mixed with glass rod, what happens, you will see that barium chloride and ammonia and water is formed there, and during this reaction lot of heat energy is absorbed. due to which the temperature of the reaction mixture falls and bottom of test tube or bottom of beaker that becomes very cold, and that shows that the temperature has decreased. That means that some a lot heat energy is absorbed there. So this reaction between barium hydroxide and ammonium chloride is characterized by the change in temperature, but here it is fall in temperature, decrease in temperature, and it is an endothermic reaction. Endothermic means heat absorbing reaction. So here in this case heat is absorbed, but in exothermic reaction heat is released. Okay. Now the last characteristic was change in state. Now some chemical reactions are there which are characterized by a change in state. For instance, when wax is burned in the form of wax candle, okay, then what happens? Water and carbon dioxide are formed. Now see, wax is a solid, right? Water is formed, but water is a liquid. In fact, carbon dioxide is formed, that is a gas. So basically, during the combustion reaction of wax, physical state of wax changes from solid to liquid and gas. Basically, wax gets converted to liquid and gas, that is water and carbon dioxide. So the combustion reaction of candle wax is characterized by a change in state from solid to liquid and gas, because wax is solid and the water formed by the combustion is liquid, and carbon dioxide that's produced by combustion is gas. In fact, there are, students, some chemical reactions which can show more than one characteristic. For instance, the first reaction between zinc granules and the dilute sulfuric acid, which we discussed, that shows two characteristics: evolution of a gas, hydrogen gas, and change in temperature was there, right? Similarly, the chemical reaction between potassium iodide and lead nitrate, that also shows two characteristics: formation of a precipitate and change in color from colorless to yellow. So there are some reactions which can show more than one characteristic, and these characteristics of chemical reactions tell us that yes, chemical reaction has taken place there. So whenever you observe any one of the characteristic from these, you can say that the chemical reaction has taken place there. So these are the easily observable characteristics, features that can show us, that can tell us that chemical reaction has taken place. Hope you understood this topic. Thank you.